Welcome back, everybody, to the Road Trip, Kingdom Builders, Road Trippers, Akeem and Akatim, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, aunties, and uncles, grandmas, and grandpas, man, everybody in the house. Shalom, shalom, peace, and blessings. Welcome back. All right. All praises to the Most High, Abba Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh. Glory to Yahweh Shai. Honors to the Ruach HaKodesh. And my love and my respect goes out to each and every single one of y'all. That's right. That's right. Hallelujah. Okay. Here we are. Where we at, family? First Maccabees. That's where we're at, man. Chapter 13. This one's not very long, so I don't know. Depending on how fast we get through this one, I might package it with 14. But that's going to really drag it out. So we'll see what happens here. All right. We'll see how it happens. One step at a time. All right. So if you want to get your scrolls out, read along with me, that'd be cool. First Maccabees chapter 13. That's where we're at. All right. There's only a couple more chapters left in this one. We only have 16 chapters in this book. Then we'll be going to second Maccabees. All right. So we'll probably be there tomorrow. So we'll try to finish up first Maccabees this evening and see what we can do. You know, we'll see what happens after supper, right after dinner. So all right. No further ado, chapter 13, First Maccabees. Let's begin.
Take them back.
Chapter 13, and it reads, And Simon heard that Typhon had gathered together a mighty army to come into the land of Yahudah and destroy it utterly. And he saw that the people trembled and was in great fear. And he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together. And he encouraged them and said to them, You yourselves know all the things that I and my kindred and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary and the battles and the distresses which we have seen. By reason of all this, my kindred have perished for Yasharel's sake, and I am left alone. And now, be it far from me that I should spare my own life in any time of affliction, for I am not better than my kindred. However, I will take vengeance for my nation and for the sanctuary and for our wives and children, because all the Gentiles are gathered to destroy us of very hatred. And the Ruach of the people revived as soon as they heard these words, and they answered with a loud voice, saying, You are our leader instead of Judas and Jonathan, your brother. Fight you our battles, and all that you will say to us that we will do. And he gathered together all the men of war and made haste to finish the walls of Jerusalem, and he fortified it round about. 11. And he sent Jonathan, the son of Absalom, and with him a great army to Joppa, and he cast out those who were therein, and dwelt therein it. And Typhon left from Ptolemais with a great army to enter into the land of Yahudah, and Jonathan was with him and warred. And Simon encamped in Adidah near the plain. And Typhon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan, and meant to join battle with him. And he sent ambassadors to him, saying, It is for the money which Jonathan your brother owed to the king's treasure, by reason of the offices which he had, that we hold him fast. And now sent 100 talents of silver and 2 of his sons for hostages, that when he is set at liberty, he may not revolt from us, and we will set him at liberty. And Simon knew that they spoke to him deceitfully, and he sent the money and the children, lest perhaps he should procure to himself great hatred of the people. And they should say, Because I sent him not the money and the children, he perished. And he sent the children and the 100 talents. And he dealt falsely, and didn't set Jonathan at liberty. And after this, Typhon came to invade the land and destroy it. And he went around by the way of the leads of Adorah, and Simon and his army marched near him to every place where he went. Now they of the citadel sent to Typhon ambassadors, hastening him to come to them through the wilderness, and to send them food. And Typhon made ready all his horse to come. And on that night there fell a great snow, and he came not by reason of the snow. And he left and came into the country of Gilead. But when he came near Baskamah, he killed Jonathan, and he was buried there. And Typhon returned and went away into his own land. And Simon sent and took the bones of Jonathan his brother and buried him at Modin, the city of his fathers. And all Yasharel made great lamentation over him and mourned for him many days. And Simon built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his kindred, and raised it aloft to the sight, with polished stone behind and before. And he set up 7 pyramids, one near another, for his father and his mother, and his 4 kindred. And for these he made cunning devices, setting about them great pillars, and great upon the pillars he fashioned all manners of arms, and for a perpetual memory, and beside the arms ships carved, that they should be seen of all that sail on the sea. This is the sepulchre which he made at Modin, and it is there to this day. Now Typhon dealt deceitfully with the young king Antiochus, and killed him, and reigned in his stead, and put on himself the diadem of Asia, and brought a great calamity upon the land. And Simon built the strongholds of Judea, and fenced them about with high towers, and great walls, and gates, and bars, and he laid up food in the strongholds. And Simon chose men, and sent to the king Demetrius to the end he should give the country in immunity, because all that Typhon did was to plunder. And King Demetrius sent to him according to these words, and answered him, and wrote a letter to him after this manner. King Demetrius to Simon the high priest and friend of kings, and to the elders of the nations of the Yahudim, greeting. The golden crown and the palm branch which you sent we have received, and we are ready to make a steadfast peace with you, yes, and to write to our officers to grant immunities to you. And whatever things we confirm to you, they are confirmed, and the strongholds which you have built, let them be your own. As for any oversights and faults committed to this day, we forgive them, and the crown which you owed us, and if there were any other toll exacted in Jerusalem, let it be exacted no longer. And if there be any among you to meet to be enrolled in our court, let them be enrolled, and let there be peace between us. In the 170th year was the yoke of the heathen taken away from Yasharel, and the people began to write in their instruments and contracts. In the first year of Simon, the great high priest and captain, the leader of the Yahudim, in those days he encamped against Gazara, and compassed it round with armies, and he made an engine of siege, and brought it up to the city, and struck a tower, and took it. And those who were in the engine leaped out into the city, and there was a great uproar in the city. And they of the city tore their clothes, and went up on the walls with their wives and children, and cried with a loud voice, making request to Simon to give them his right hand. And they said, Deal not with us according to our wickedness, but according to your mercy. And Simon was reconciled to them, and didn't fight against them. But he put them out of the city, and cleansed the house wherein the idols were, and so entered into it with singing and giving praise. And he put all uncleanness out of it, and placed it in such men as would keep the law, and made it stronger than it was before, and built therein a dwelling place for himself. But they of the citadel in Jerusalem were hindered from going out, and from going into the country, and from buying and selling, and they hungered exceedingly. And a great number of them perished through famine. And they cried out to Simon, and he should give them his right hand. And he gave it to them, and he put them out from there, and he cleansed the citadel from its pollutions. And he entered into it on the 23rd day of the 2nd month, in the 171st year, with praise and palm branches, and with harps, and with cymbals, and with viols, and with hymns, and with song, because a great enemy was destroyed out of Yasharel. And he ordained that they should keep that day every year with gladness. And the hill of the temple that was by the citadel he made stronger than before, and there he lived himself and his men. And Simon saw that John his son was a valiant man, and he made him leader of all his forces, and he lived in Gazara. That's the end of chapter 13, family. All right. That's the end of 13, and if I put it with 14, it's going to be way too long. So, well, I don't know. Yeah, that'll probably be really long if we put 14 with it. I don't know. What do y'all want to do? You want to read 14 with this one? Let's see. All right. Let's get 14. Let's do 14. Let's do 14. All right. I wasn't going to put them together, but I guess we'll go ahead and do it. All right. Chapter 14, y'all. All right, family. And it reads, "And in the 172nd year, King Demetrius gathered his forces together and went into Media to get him help, that he might fight against Typhon and Arsaces, the king of Persia and Media, heard that Demetrius was come into his borders, and he sent one of his princes to take him alive. And he went and struck the army of Demetrius and took him and brought him to Arsaces, and he put him in ward. And the land had rest all the days of Simon, and he sought the good of his nation and his authority, and his glory was well pleasing to them all his days. And amid all his glory he took Joppa for a haven, and made it an entrance for the isles of the sea. And he enlarged the borders of his nation, and got possession of the country. And he gathered together a great number of captives, and got the dominion of Gazara and Basura, and the citadel, and he took away from it its uncleanliness. And there was none that resisted him. And they tilled their land in peace, and the land gave her increase, and the trees of the plains their fruit. The ancient men sat in the streets, they communed all of them together of good things, and the young men put on glorious and warlike apparel. He provided food for the cities, and furnished them with all manner of munition, until the name of his glory was named to the end of the earth. He made peace in the land, and Yasharel rejoiced with great joy. And they sat each man under his vine and his fig tree, and there was none to make them afraid. And there ceased in the land any that fought against them, and the kings were discomfited in those days. And he strengthened all those of his people that were brought low, and the law he searched out, and every lawless and wicked person he took away. He glorified the sanctuary, and the vessels of the temple he multiplied. And it was heard at Rome that Jonathan was dead, and even to Sparta. And they were exceedingly sorry. But as soon as they heard that his brother Simon was made high priest in his stead, and ruled the country and the cities therein, they wrote to him on tables of brass to renew with him the friendship and the confederacy which they had confirmed with Judas and Jonathan his kindred. And they were read before the congregation at Jerusalem. And this is the copy of the letters which the Spartans sent, the rulers of the Spartans and the city to Simon the high priest, and to the elders and to the priests, and the residue of the people of the Yahudim, our kindred, greeting. The ambassadors that were sent to our people made report to us of your glory and honor, and we were glad for their coming. And we did register the things that were spoken by them in the public records after this manner. Numenius, son of Antiochus, and Antipater, son of Jason, the Yahudim's ambassadors, came to us to renew the friendship they had with us. And it pleased the people to entertain the men honorably, and to put the copy of their words in the public records, to the end that the people of the Spartans might have a memorial thereof. Moreover, they wrote a copy of these things to Simon the high priest. After this, Simon sent Numenius to Rome with a great shield of gold of 1,000-pound weight, in order to confirm the confederacy with him. But when the people heard these things, they said, "What thanks will we give to Simon and his sons? For he and his kindred and the house of his fathers have made themselves strong, and have chased away in fight the enemies of Yasharel from them, and confirmed liberty to Yasharel." And they wrote on tables of brass, and set them upon pillars in Mount Zion. And this is a copy of the writing. On the 18th day of Elul, in the 172nd year, and this is the 3rd year of Simon the high priest, and Asaramel, in a great congregation of priests and people of princes of the nation and of the elders of the country, was it notified to us. For as much as oftentimes there have been wars in the country, but Simon the son of Mattathias, the son of the sons of Joarib, and his kindred put themselves in jeopardy, and withstood the enemies of their nation and their sanctuary, and the law might be established, and glorified their nation with great glory. And Jonathan assembled their nation together, and became their high priest, and was gathered to his people. And their enemies purposed to invade their country, that they might destroy their country utterly, and stretch out their hands against their sanctuary. Then rose up Simon and fought for his nation, and spent much of his own substance, and armed the valiant men of his nation, and gave them wages. And he fortified the cities of Judea and Bethsura, that lies upon the borders of Judea, where the arms of the enemies were previously, and set there a garrison of Yahudim. And he fortified Joppa, which is upon the sea, and Gazara, which is upon the borders of Azotus, wherein the enemies lived previously, and placed Yahudim there, and set therein all things convenient for their restoration. And the people saw the faith of Simon, and the glory which he thought to bring to his nation. And they made him their leader and high priest, because he had done all these things, and for the justice of the faith which he kept to his nation. For that he sought by all means to exalt his people. And in his days things prospered in his hands, so that the Gentiles were taken away out of the country, and they also that were in the city of David, those who were in Jerusalem, who had made themselves a citadel, out of which they issued and polluted all things around the sanctuary, and did great hurt to its purity. And he placed Yahudim therein, and fortified it for the safety of the country and the city, and made high the walls of Jerusalem. And King Demetrius confirmed to him the high priesthood according to these things. All right, and made him one of his friends, and honored him with great honor, for he had heard say that the Yahudim had been called by the Romans friends and allies and kindred, and that they had made the ambassador of Simon honorably, and that the Yahudim and the priests were well pleased that Simon should be their leader and high priest forever, until there should arise a faithful prophet, and that he should be captain over them, and should take charge of the sanctuary, to set them over their works, and over the country, and over the arms, and over the strongholds, and that he should take charge of the sanctuary, and that he should be obeyed by all, and that all instruments in the country should be written in his name, and that he should be clothed in purple and wear gold, and that it should not be lawful for any of the people or of the priest to set at nothing any of these things, or to gainsay the words that he should speak, or to gather an assembly in the country without him, or to be clothed in purple, or wear a buckle of gold. But whoever should do otherwise, or set at nothing any of these things, he should be liable to punishment. All the people consented to ordain for Simon that he should do according to these things, to these words. And Simon accepted this, and consented to be high priest, and to be captain and governor of the Yahudim, and of the priests, and to be protector of all. And they commanded to put this writing on tables of brass, and to set them up within the precinct of the sanctuary in a conspicuous place, and moreover to put the copies thereof in the treasury, to the end that Simon and his sons might have them. That's the end of chapter 14, and we're definitely going to close it up right there. All right, hallelujah, man. Yeah. So we can see, right, Judas is gone, Jonathan is gone, now Simon, he's stepping up, just like his two big brothers, right? Just like his two brothers. And he's not going to fail, all right, that's the end of it, man. This is a strong bloodline, though. These brothers they were something else, weren't they? All right. Thanks for the ride, Mishpachah. Thanks for the ride, road trippers. We're going to come back on the next one, chapter 15. And then we only got 16 left. And then that's the end. So I think we are going to put 15 and 16 together, though. So the next time we're going to close out Maccabees with 15 and 16. There's not that much left. I would feel bad coming back just for 16 by itself. It's not long enough, So we'll do another double dump on that. But in the meantime, shalom, peace and blessings to each and every single one of y'all. I love you with my whole heart, man. Please go in peace. Be safe out there. I'll see you guys real soon. All praises to the Most High. I love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bedvoma Studios.